What are the biggest red flags to look out for early in a relationship? And before we continue, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and give yourself a honest self-analyzation and just ask yourself, what are my red flags? Number one, rushing into a serious relationship. When someone just rushes into a serious relationships, like already talking about marriage, commitment, babies, family, I mean, fair enough, but it just shows a lack of emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. When you are emotionally matured, you do your due diligence on people who you tend or who you want to spend the rest of your life with. You're not going to make a rash judgment just based on these intensified infatuations with the person, whether looks or you kiss them and you're just overexcited and you just want to be with them. An emotional, mature person won't lock in a relationship just due to those because those things pass. You need things more tangible. So when someone's just rushing into a relationship, that's something to look out for because you want to be with someone who knows they're making the right decision. And when someone knows when they're making the right decision, they they do their homework. They want to make sure that the person that they're going to be with for the rest of their life is this person going to be a great mother or a great father, vice versa. Are they going to be a great husband, a great wife? And you need to know these things from the root. What's their religious views? How do they handle arguments? How do they handle this? How do they handle health? How do they handle financial? Because you're going to be raising a family, you're going to go through new experience, intensified experience for the rest of your life. And that's why there's a lot of people just getting divorced, having babies out of wedlock, or just short-term relationships because they just get into them so quickly without even knowing the person. You need to know the person who you're actually going to spend the rest of your life with. And you need to know if they're a match or not. And you need to know yourself. Who are you? What do you like? What do you tolerate? What would you tolerate? What don't you tolerate? How do you handle money? How do you handle health? You need to know yourself before getting into a serious relationship. And if someone doesn't know you and just wants to commit already, then that's a serious red flag. Two, inconsistent communication. If you're getting together with someone and the communication is just, it's not consistent. They're only contacting you whether if they're down or they need company or they need some sort of support, whether that's emotionally or physically, major red flag. Because it means that you're an option. You're not a priority. You're just someone they can call whenever they need something. And that's just something to look out for because they're not really serious in a relationship. They have issues with themselves and that they need to resolve, or a lot of the times they don't want to be with themselves. So they call other people to be around with them so they can't think. They're scared to be alone. Be worried about, don't be worried, but be cautious if you're with people or dating someone who doesn't want to be alone. Because in order to find the love of your life, you need to love your life first. And if they're inconsistent, it means that they're not really serious. It means that they're battling something or they have other people ahead of you. And once you love yourself, because you're consistent with yourself, right? If you love yourself, you're consistent with your health, your finances, your mental health, your well being. You're consistent. You're not just sometimes eating healthy, then I'm just going to pig out and just let myself go or potentially make myself prone to illnesses. No, if you love yourself, you want the best life. And if someone is interested in you, they want the best for you too. Three, lack of empathy. Pay attention of how the person that you're dating treats people. Pay attention to how they treat their family, their friends, strangers, cleaners, waiters, waitresses. Be very observative because how they treat them is going to end up how they're going to end up treating you. People who are compassionate, caring, kind, these are good traits because they're at one with humanity. When you feel like you're better than someone, you have this negative ego about yourself in which you actually see people beneath you and then you end up treating them a certain way. A good human being, a good husband, a good wife will never treat anyone lesser than them. They will always care as if it was themselves because when you're mature, you know that life is about change and anything can happen in a blink of an eye. I mean, anything. I've seen a poor person become rich, and I've seen a rich person become poor. I've seen a healthy person become extremely sick, and I've seen a sick person become healthy. Life can change. Anything can happen, but if you're a great human, you understand that, you grasp that, and you appreciate things, and you're always kind. And if someone is unkind, I will say that's a red flag in a relationship because if they're unkind to others, they can be unkind to you. Jealousy. Wow, jealousy, it's okay in small doses. But when you're just jealous, and you end up controlling, you end up monitoring their moves, you end up putting a jar over your loved one because it means that you have insecurities. And when you have insecurities, you have end up having trust issues. And people who have trust issues are normally the people who you cannot trust because they put themselves in their positions. Because they can't be trusted, why are they going to trust you? But if they're trustworthy, then why wouldn't they trust you? It's a reflection of themselves. I know many couples, married couples, and they trust their partner. Their partner has never betrayed them, and vice versa, whether it's male or female. And I also have a lot of friends who say they will never trust their wife or their partner or their girlfriend. And it's so funny because these people who are saying that are people who do wrong to their girlfriend or partner. And it is very comical because when you know who you are and you know you're a grounded, trustworthy person, you're gonna attract that. I know there's a stigma between loyalty nowadays, but it's so funny of the people that they're talking to. When you hear, oh, where did you meet this person? Oh, I met her in a club. In a club. And then what does that person do on a week to week basis or on a month to month basis? Oh, she hangs with her friends and goes out often. I mean, a person's routine tells you who they are. I mean, what? I mean, and you expect someone like this to be loyal? They drink every single weekend. They go out. They're around music that happily speaks about profanity, love, treacherous, violent, sexual. It's just like that person is not. It's not a wife material. And when you become a wife or husband material yourself, you will attract that. But if someone is jealous, it's normally because of insecurities, because they have these insecurities with themselves. And that is a red flag in a relationship, most definitely. But if there's anything I missed out, please do let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. because I love to hear other people's perspectives because it helps me grow and understand. Because no matter of how many books, how many people, how many studies I read or listen to, there's always an infinite amount of information that's out there which you don't know. So I'm just like a sponge. So I would love to hear all about it. And I really appreciate you watching. It really does mean a lot. And thank you. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. And I really do hope you find this helpful. Peace.